What is up, Scrub fam? I'm back with another video about a deck that's been kind of talked about by people, kind of not talked about, and so I thought I would just take a chance and make it come to fruition. Before I get into that, shout out to Bearded Collectibles, amazing sponsor. I got a few of the teammates coming up from Florida to the Richmond Regional, which I'm really excited about, so we can all be reunited and it will feel so good. Super excited for that. Alec Pastrana, amazing sponsor. He's got the new shop that's opened up. It's huge. He's got a bunch of gaming consoles so you guys can play Fighter Z when it comes out. He's going to be doing tournaments for that, which is going to be super exciting. So if you're in the Florida area, please be sure to check out the Beard Collectible shop. Also, in general, when we talk about this new world that we're going to be facing with the special packs coming out soon, having the OverRealm cards in them, which the OverRealm cards are pretty insane, some of them more than others. And so this deck is super simple that I'm going to go over. It's really pure, and when I say pure, I mean it's pretty much just all just four ofs. Like we just want all of our cards to do the same thing on a consistent basis, and we just want to be able to find them as quickly as possible. So we're playing a very pure list. Everything is at a 4 of as a main deck, and this is really just a concept that's just meant to take what the tools that we have available to us and then insert the new cards and just kind of take it to an extreme. And so we're playing a leader that is heavily underplayed. We're playing Cooler. And so I call this deck Cooler Delver, which, of course, it's just based off of delving from Magic, and of course Delver, the famous creature that came out in a while back, but definitely a favorite. And of course, just the idea of using your discard pile or your graveyard as a resource is something that's always been. It's one of my favorite mechanics that games can offer, whether it be like the old Panini Z and Rejuvenation, or removing cards from your opponent's discard pile to get a unique effects, things like that. And of course, in Magic, cards like, you know, Gurmag Angler, and cards like, man, there's so many, Treasure Cruise and all those. And so having all those unique effects in the game itself, I think is just really neat. And so what this deck tries to do is tries to abuse the ones that are really powerful as often as possible, as early as turn 1, turn 2, and beyond, and then just constantly having access through it throughout the game. So if we over the list itself, we start off with 4 Crusher Balls. So on the left side, if we look at, basically this is like my utility stuff that I kind of just like have to play for like defense. And so 4 Crusher Ball, 4 Destructive Occupation Frieza, 4 Dodoria the Emperor's Attendant, 4 Whis Coercion, and 4 Results of Training. So I know you guys may be thinking that 4 Results of Training is too much, but honestly you really need to see the card, especially as Cooler's leader, because you have no access to Self Awaken. And that's one reason why I wanted to go yellow blue, was because I'd rather play Result of Training as opposed to playing stuff like Tien or stuff like Furious Yell Vegeta, because I want to use my life as a resource. Like, I want to awaken early, force my opponent to attack into me, and force them to give me cards when they normally wouldn't want to. And a lot of people aren't going to attack you as Cooler because, your front side doesn't really do much. It just mills yourself, and you occasionally get +5k when you hit a Frieza clan when you mill, and so that's all the effect really gives you. And the backside is the same exact thing. So your opponent's not really going to be attacking into you, and if they want to, that's fine. But then your Result of Training just becomes really good blue energy. But so we play 4 Crusher Ball. Just because it's a really good defensive card, it's almost like negates 4 through 8, and it helps with our deck because this deck is really geared upon removal. And so when you can look at the configuration, when we just start getting over to like the more like serious cards, we run 4 energy boosted Majin Boos. This is just a cantrip. I just need to be able to play it to draw a card, just to filter through the deck more and be able to find those cards that I need. We have 4 energy boost Beerus. Again, we're trying to play as much removal as possible because we want to, these games, when you're playing Overrealm, we can tend to make them go longer with the amount of defense we play in the deck, and we want to have a lot of removal to be able to counter the opponent. We have 4 Returning Evil Golden Frieza. This card is really sweet with Overrealm characters because, say, the same turn that you play a Time Patrol Trunks, you can actually pop it back to your hand with returning Evil Golden Frieza, and then it won't have to remove itself from the game. At least that's how it's been explained to me, and even after asking a judge, that's how it was clarified. So I play a Time Patrol Trunks for free by removing my graveyard. I then play a 5-drop Frieza, I pop the Trunks back to my hand, and so I basically got to get that body and that value for free that turn, and then I was able to use it for Frieza's effect, which is incredibly powerful. So I play 4 Beers and 4 Frieza, because Frieza just has really good interactions with the Overrealm cards. We play 2 Mecha Frieza, the Returning Terror. I just want more removal, and this is just a little bit more conditional. Like, yeah, your opponent has to be tapped, but sometimes this card can just outright just win you a game. Your opponent starts building threats on board, they start trying to turn sideways, and you're able to net 2 of their threats in the same turn. 4 Bannon. Again, vanilla 20Ks they're good. Like, they trade with pretty much anything that your opponent plays, and they have to combo to save their piece. Like, and they have to combo, if you want, you can add something on top of this, and they have to combo 10K. So if you want to add more to this, you can force them to have to combo more cards. You can have to force them to combo 2 cards instead of just 1. And so 20Ks fit really well into the metagame right now because everyone's playing big threats really fast. So if you play a 3-drop Bannon, you're able to keep up with people that are playing 4-drop Jirens, mostly because Jiren, when he's tapped, he's just a 20K body that's sitting on the table, so you can swing into him if you need to. We play 4 Objections. Objection, we just like it in this deck because getting the extra energy down is really helpful, because you want to get to this 5-drop Frieza as fast as possible during the game, and Objection just helps you do it a turn quicker. And so a lot of times your ideal opening hand will have an Objection and a Results in it, because of course you need to hold the Results, and Objection will help you get there faster. But again, we just want to get to our mid-game and late game as fast as possible. And then when we go to the cool cards, we play 4 Time Patrol Trunks. So this is the reason why Cooler Leader is going to be really good. Really good is kind of a stretch, but playable. Maybe let's just stick with playable. Cooler is going to be playable because turn 1 you can play Time Patrol Trunks for free. And this is really great on the draw because you're going to get a free attacker on the table for 15K, and you get to, okay, so turn 1, I draw for turn. So I draw a card, charge, now activate Cooler's ability, mill 3, now Time Patrol Trunks. I'll look at the top 2. I'll pick one, put it in my hand. The other I can put at the top or bottom of the deck. And this having scry, the ability to scry in this game is so powerful. Being able to look at the next card and then move it to the bottom is so much better than something like Avenging Frieza, which looks at the top 3. You pick one and then shuffle your deck. Moving a card that you don't want to draw to the bottom of your deck essentially takes it out of rotation for you. So again, that's incredibly strong, and there's nothing in this deck that shuffles itself. So this is big. And that was also one of the reasons why I wanted to play this sort of configuration, this sort of list, because I don't want to have to shuffle my deck ever. I play no tutor cards. And the reason why is because when you have the ability to scry, you just get to clean up your draws that much better, like that much faster. And so looking at the top 2, picking one, putting in your hand, and then just taking a card that you don't want, moving to the bottom, or a card you really do want, you just leave it on top for the next turn. That's incredibly powerful. So Time Patrol Trunks with Cooler, it's like peanut butter and chocolate. It's amazing. And then we have more removal. The 4 Masked Saiyans. This card so far in testing has been absolutely bonkers. Just from being able to have access to it on turn 2. And then, of course, I mean, because you need to have 5 cards at least in the discard pile. Being able to just play this whenever you want to, essentially, is just ridiculous. I mean, as I said it before, like there's times where I need to swing for a game where I'll have a threat that survived from the last turn. I'll play another threat, and then like I'll swing, run them out of cards, and then just tap 1 energy, put my discard pile in the warp zone, and then drop a Masked Saiyan. I get the removal, and it's another double striker that's 20K. Like, that's insane. Like, the value on that is absolutely bananas. And so it kills anything up to 5 or less, like any bodies that your opponent has in the field, so you can clean up the board if they need to, like of just little things. But of course, just killing something that can go up to 5 is incredibly powerful. I mean, just having a Kale with double strike that cost 1. It's too good. Yeah, it removes itself at the end of the turn like the other, like Time Patrol Trunks and the other Overrealm cards, but the effect is just so powerful to do for 1 energy. And the reason why this leader is going to be so playable as we go forward is because of the fact that he constantly can put cards in the discard pile for you. And what I really like about Cooler with Overrealm is that you get the best value out of Overrealm because you, like I said, turn 1 on the draw, activate main, I'll remove 3 cards from the discard pile, play Time Patrol Trunks. Okay, cool. I didn't have to put that much effort into getting those cards in the discard pile, and I didn't have to waste additional cards. So the only time you'll really have to waste additional cards is if, let's say I don't Time Patrol Trunks on turn 1, but I want to have access to Mass Saiyan. I can get 2 cards in the discard pile on my own and then just mill the 3 and then remove exactly 5. You know, put them in the Warp Zone for the Mass Saiyan. And so, again, this is just amazing value to you from this leader. Just putting 3 cards in your discard pile whenever you need to is just incredibly powerful. And so as we go forward, you're going to see more Cooler decks that are built around Overrealm. And I'm really excited to see more of the cards that come out because the weakest card in my deck right now, of course, is 3-drop Bannon. But, of course, I needed yellow energy plus with upside. And that's what Bannon is. He's yellow energy, but if I play him as a threat, he can trade with a lot of the other threats that my opponent plays, and he can put pressure on a leader if need to. But as more Overrealm cards come out, you can take this shell, you can mess with the numbers, you can drop some of the stuff, you can add some more stuff. If they come out with another way to awaken beside of results of training, you can put that in here. But this is a deck you could just take the basic shell of it, you can load it into your Octagon right now, have some fun with it, test it out, and really just feel how powerful it is to use Overrealm. And like I said before, I think this leader is going to maximize on it from what we have right now. But as of course, when set 3 comes out, I'm certain we're going to get another leader that has a similar effect. It'd be cool if they didn't make one, like let's say made one that was like a little bit worse than Cooler, because then Cooler will just continue to see play, which I always like seeing underplayed leaders see play, see value within a format. And so right now, I'm pretty excited about this. I jammed a bunch of games with it yesterday, had a ton of fun. I won a bunch of games just because of the Overrealm's effect. And that's one thing that I really like about this deck. You see practically every card in your deck. A lot of times you will end games where you're at like 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 card left when you're going for game. And it's a pretty cool feeling to be able to actually see every single card in your deck throughout the course of the game. And that's another thing about having a leader that puts cards in the discard pile. You now can start doing better math about what's left in your deck, what you have the potential to draw the next turn, and you end up smoothing out your draws a lot more that way too. You can get some of the fodder out of it. Like anytime you get the extra results or the extra objection or the extra card that you don't want to draw out of the deck, you just make your draws that much better across the course of the game. And of course, Time Patrol Trunks. This card is so good with the Cooler leader. It's so good with decks that don't shuffle because you just get to clean up your draws so well. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is just a sneak peek of where my head's at going into set 3 with the Overrealm cards being released. I'm excited for all of them to hurry up and drop. I'm excited to start playing with the actual cards like for real in person, and I'm excited to get the foils. Like I'm like for sure gonna get Time Patrol Trunks and all the Mass Saiyan foils. Like I have to. Like those cards are just too good looking. So I'm really excited about the format going forward. We got Richmond Regionals coming up. I'm stuck between 3 decks right now, and of course I may end up switching last minute to something that's not even on the radar right now. But I'm definitely gearing myself to try and do better than last time because that's all we can do. Anyway, thank you guys so much for everything you do. We are on the chase for 1,000 subscribers. We are almost there. We're at 935 subscribers. Guys, I started this in October. That's bananas. And we're only in January. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for all your feedback. Thank you so much for your criticisms as well. Thank you so much for your hate. I love it. I love the hate. It drives me. That's all you guys don't understand. Like, the hate just drives me. So just continue to hate. I appreciate it. If you like this content, please be sure to subscribe. Get your friends and family to subscribe. Be a part of Scrub Nation. Check out beardedcollectibles.com, the apparel section. Get yourself a 3XG shirt with hashtag ScrubFam on the back. It's the original design, version 1.0. We have more coming down the pipeline too. Anyways, this has been another video from 3XG Productions. Thank you guys so much for everything. Again, you're amazing. You're incredible. I love you guys so much. Okay, bye.